So right now we all in here setting up the space where we can have the welcome speech. Outside we'll have the registration, and then later on we're gonna have the mixer. But right now we over here setting up things and looking at YouTube to help us out. Let me go help.
Stayed down, came up, God made a way. Stayed down, came up, God made a way. Stayed down, came up, God made a way. Let me tell you about it. You can sit and wait around, or you can make it happen. I've been walking in the spirit, ain't no way around it. And it's up, yeah.
Yeah, it's a monumental moment, you know.
Oh, this is a monument. Okay.
Here's your, happy birthday gift.
Thank you.
To the Dark Knight.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
And see,
I'm loving this.
And what it is each accomplishment we get as a team, we gotta assemble.
We gotta assemble it. Okay.
So not until it's fully like
when it's fully like this, we did it.
It's okay. It's all good. It will just sit there in the nice trophy case. And every time when you guys call me with an accomplishment, all right, look, come on over. We got some tacos.
We'll buckle it up.
All right, so I already know what the first piece is. The chest plate.
The chest plate, yeah. Because that's the biggest piece. Put that on there.
Thank you so much.
I know, for sure, man. Yeah. Happy birthday.
I love it.
So we just left everybody in there working. We about to go change right quick and come right back.
Back.
We 5 minutes away. Our clothes already ironed. Gonna change, come right back, eat, and get back to it. Still a lot more setting up to do. But until then, we'll see you. So we changed now. We still got some more setting up to do. About to set up the outside patio where we're gonna have the mixer after the opening and after registration. So gotta set up the speakers. We got the glasses over there, and it's a nice little area. Let me show you. It's where you come in at, come out here, mezzanine. It's a nice day, it's not too hot, so it's perfect.
We definitely wanted to send a huge shout out to Amy Sallin and the team at University of Washington School of Business. We got a few things that are coming in this evening. We got the mayor from the city of Bellevue that's going to give you a welcome. Of course, what is an event without the First Lady of Leisure? So she's definitely going to come and grace the stage as well. How many of you guys had to struggle with the whole crowd strike thing? Show of hands. Just a little bit, you know. If you were shorting. But we got a lot to talk about this weekend. We got a lot as it pertains to stock markets. We also have a lot as it pertains to startups. Those of you that don't know, and I hope that you guys get the opportunity to check out the room, Mindful, the company that I had once upon a time started right here in this building. A lot of my friends that have gone on to create some amazing products or work at some amazing companies started here. So when you guys sit in these seats during this weekend, I want you guys to understand there was a reason why I chose a university. Why? When we think about universities, we think about knowledge transfer. And that's what I'm about this weekend, is about giving each and every single one of you a knowledge transfer. So how many of you guys got your pen and pads? All right, I see hands, but I don't see no products. Okay. All right, good stuff. The GCEO of the Come Up series. She is the co-creator, co-founder, and co-producer of the Come Up series. She is the person that is going to take the Come Up series into the next era. Don't worry, I'm still gonna be around. But she's taking it into a totally different new era that's gonna take it into a whole different stratosphere. I give it to you none other than the wonderful...
It's Jolie and GC in their place. We're gonna play a little church. I want you to lift to your left. This way to your left. Look to your money. If there was a mirror right here, your money, your money, your money, your money, your money, 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 money. And with that, today, right now, what is today, Mark? The 19th, July 19th, 2024. I want you to mark this day in your memory. Mark it in the collective consciousness. This is the day that lines were drawn in the sand. This is the day that whoever yesterday wasn't, they can't come with you on this side. There's no room. There's no room, there's no space for that. I want you to get really clear in your mind right now who you're going to be this weekend. You can be anybody. But if the body that you were before you got in this building is not serving you, let it go. If the body that you were has some doubts, has some negative self-talk, had any language that was the opposite of this, let it go. If you're talking to someone and there is an instance of doubt, or let's say what they're talking about isn't money enough for you, just want you to walk away. Why? Because we don't have time. There's a sense of urgency this week, and I want you to come and get everything that you can. What did Denzel Washington say? He said, oh, I'm leaving here with something.
I'm leaving here with something.
Not only are you all leaving here with something, I challenge you all to leave something here. There are people that are local, there are people that are not local. Connect. Our biggest asset is our connection. What's our biggest asset?
You know what I mean? I'm from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
So it's day 2 of the conference. Got a bunch of stuff on the agenda. We got the keynote tonight. We got a bunch of classes giving out value. We had the speed pitching where you can pitch to investors. But most importantly, we got lunch because everyone loved to eat. When I say everyone, I mean me. So let's get it.
Give it up for none other than the wonderful Joanne.
There's definitely going to be some great shifts in this in the space of tech. Absolutely with women and of course people of color. And so what I focus on is building strategies to help elevate programs that are going to give visibility and opportunities for those communities. So I'm really proud of the work that I do, and I feel like we're starting to see more inclusion being brought into the products. And like Keisha said, disruptors, that's what we need.
But where we reach out to folks that we haven't had the chance to chat with before, that are outside of our network, and come from some sort of background that's underrepresented in tech, whether that be gender diversity, racial diversity, ethnic diversity, etc., and have introductory coffee chats.
You know, nobody downloads video games from GameStop, right? They download it from, you know, Xbox Live, Game Pass, whatever the case may be, right? 2, they make most of their money in that used game business, right? You know, they buy the game for you for nothing, they resell the game. They used to make like a 50% gross margin on that, right? And obviously, if you download the game, there's no physical game, right? So, you know, when the whole meme stock thing happened, you know, I mean, look, my phone was blowing up. Like, CNBC's calling me, Yahoo Finance is calling me, Bloomberg's calling me, Fox. All these folks are calling me because they're like, what the heck is going on? And I'm just like, look, this don't make no sense. it just doesn't. Like, this stock, you know, this market cap, you know, I mean, you know, the fundamentals are going this way, the stock's going that way. And guess what, guys? Let's fast forward. Now we're in 2024, right? And I'm not even going to say the person's name, okay? But he's now the CEO of the company,
Wait a minute.
the largest.
Wait, so now we want to be PC? No. Go
All right, fuck it. He's the CEO of his clean house, okay?
I'll start it, and I'll mention something you mentioned earlier, Anthony, which is that there's going to be some great winners from AI, but there's going to be a ton of losers, just like there was. That's my big lesson from the internet. I think I should start off by saying that, but everybody's struck now by just how much creation of shareholder wealth, I guess there was from Amazon. There's so much lost at the time. And so I guess the same thing's going to happen with AI now. One thing I do worry about is that AI can be, generative AI can be so expensive in terms of the compute power you need. And so I worry that most of the gains are going to accrue to the largest companies. I do worry about that. But I also look at it from a public market perspective. You're much earlier stage than I am. And that we're looking at this company, this tiny little company, OpenAI, which actually was a tiny little company and became very successful in AI, so maybe I'm wrong that all the gains are going to accrue to the large companies. But I guess that's the one lesson, which is they're going to be, I'm certain that there's going to be a lot of winners. There's going to be a few great winners out of AI, and there's going to be a lot of losers.
If somebody's making $30,000 a year, okay, you still need a plan, right? So for me, a basic plan, if somebody's coming to me, okay, well, I need you to have an emergency fund account, right, outside of your bank, simple stuff, right? I need you to have a short-term account. I need you to have an individual brokerage to where we're saving for long-term. I need you to have your wealth building account set up. Those are the things I need you to have going for you first. Let's build a foundation. Let's build portfolios that we know we're going to get a great rate of return, right? If you're working with an advisor like this, I mean, we should be able to, my goal is not to beat the market. That should be an expectation. If you're working with an advisor, my benchmark is not just to beat the market. Does that make sense? Right? I need, in my brain, I need to smash the market. That makes sense? But I think for some people, they think that if you work with an advisor, then you're only going to get market rated returns, right? And that's why some people don't feel like that's a value, because they say, hey, well, Chris, I can trade and I can do a call option, right, on CrowdStrike since it dropped, right, and I can ride it up for the next 6 months. Some of y'all did that, didn't y'all? Right? They say, well, I can get 100%, 300% rate of return, right? That's a trading mindset. So for me, when I'm working with clients that are traders, if you're a trader, then I want you to take the trading part out of my management, right? So what I'll do, I'll manage the assets and I'll build a great portfolio. But if you're going to trade, then okay, you're going to trade on that silo in yourself. Does that make sense? Because I don't want to mix my management with your trading, and let's get the two things confused, right?
When you look at a high interest rate environment, who benefits and who suffers from that? Who here owns a home? Raise your hand. Who here has an interest rate above 5% on that home? Sorry. All the rest of you, great job. All the rest of you, great job. You refinanced or got into your properties at the right time, but now that we're in a high interest rate environment, who here is looking to buy a home today? Exactly. Nobody, right? Why? Because my interest rate is going to be 7, 8, maybe even more %. What if you were the bank earning that 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 15%? That's what's happening in the private credit markets. There are people sitting on substantial pools of liquidity, just like a bank or any other financial institution, that know that other people need that money.
Is your mission? Who are you? Why are you doing what you're doing? Your MVP should always be connected to your why. And no matter what happens in that product, it's always going to go back to the problem that you're going to solve, who you are, and what impact you want to make in the world. That's how I define it.
So what is the true value that we're talking about through this conference? What's the true value of wealth? What's that true definition of what wealth really is? Well, if we're being honest, most often that wealth is found in people. I tell people, I don't build products, I don't build companies, I build people. And it's those people that build products and that build companies. So when you start talking about an MVP or a product or a startup, you need to start to fast forward and figure out, like, what is that legacy you're intending to leave behind? Because there's a process of innovation that requires iteration. And this goes back to that point. Iteration is the foundation, it's the cornerstone of really trying to understand the power of the pivot. We'll talk about that later. But the iterations is what helps you figure out what's product market fit. So going back to the question on how do you understand the data that's going to bring value to your customer, well, first you need to understand your customer. And after you understand your customer, you have to understand what value you're bringing to that customer. Man, I was just telling the startup about this 3 days ago. And so as you get down to what's the value of the data and the customer and the value of the problem that you're solving, you have to then be able to quantify the KPIs or the health metric on how you actually solve it. Successful raising really boils down to confidence, storytelling, and impact. All the rest of these are details. Confidence, storytelling, impact. So many of us are not so good at storytelling. We don't understand our impact. If we're not great at storytelling, we don't understand our impact. We're not projecting confidence. When you're going in front of an investor, you need to be able to say and stand firm, head, shoulders back, head up. You'll remember me.
How do you think a matchmaking business could create impact?
Well, it depends on what you're matchmaking.
Singles. Matchmaking, the love business. Yeah. So how does that create an impact?
If I'm going to pitch you on matchmaking,
Yes.
I'm not going to say the word matchmaking.
Okay.
I'm going to start with, where are you in your life? Have you found your purpose? Have you found where you want to go? Have you found where you want to work in?
Mm-hmm.
What drives you? What makes you you? You don't know?
So I'm also going to be a wing woman, so trust me, the psychology is going to be on.
Right, but here's how I'm interacting with people. Here's how I'm starting my whole pitch, my whole storytelling.
Yeah?
Well, if you do know, wouldn't life be a lot better to share it with somebody else? If you don't know, aren't you tired of being lonely trying to figure it out by yourself?
So in my business, my impact is really getting into your pain point then?
No. Your impact is hope, connection, confidence.
All right.
Right?
I'm good then.
Community. All right, so remember, you're also almost always going to pitch to a non-African American person. So when you're pitching and you're storytelling is all about connecting to your audience.
Yes.
And you might want to cast your net super wide in a way that lands on everybody. If I wanted to really capture the whole audience today, I would be like, man, y'all know how lonely it is to be a founder? How demoralizing it is sometimes. Are you tired of getting that like no? Right? You know you've been doing it for so long, but people aren't listening. Aren't you ready to be heard?
Okay.
I got everybody in this room.
All right.
Right? Because that is a common, universal, non-biased, non-divisionary reach out.
But all of these rooms right here got people in there pitching to VCs. VCs are going to each room to hear out their ideas, and hopefully somebody gets some funding. So right now we have a small break while people are speed pitching, people are getting snacks, and then we have Mark's keynote at 6 p.m. that we're all waiting for to see what he got to say. He said he's going to take us to the Matrix. So, let's see. Until then.
Tonight is all about innovate, invest, and inspire. A simple presentation. Now, for those of you that have seen the Come Up series, you guys know how I do my presentations. I try to keep it simple, try to keep value. I'm going to keep it black, and I'm definitely going to keep it brief. All right. Shout out to all my team at Fucking Culture, and of course, all the portfolio companies that sit within inside. Let's go to the next slide. All right, so like I said, I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to keep it brief. We're going to inspire. We're going to talk about a market thesis. We're going to talk about investing in 2025. We're going to talk a little startups. And then on top of that, we're going to talk about...
Look, we tastemakers, groundbreakers, we crown shakers. Moved outside the margin, we're writing, that's how we found paper. Hustle nature, since we was riding back on the scooter razors. Had no stable footage since then, I've been the earthquaker. Brown sugar and cinnamon, don't think that I'm the greatest, I just settle for the synonyms. Hey, they wonder what's got it into him. I took a couple losses, I'm trying to win again and win again and win again. I ain't taking minimums, my destiny was written in.
Begins.
Honestly, this is incredible. I know, take it, like, let it sink in, let it all come in. I'm excited to see, you know, what is it that we can help in helping you build it. And then of course, we'll get the information so that way we can also get our team at Microsoft to also start getting you the resources as well. But yeah, this is the first. And I think that this is just the first of many. Final for the finale of this event, for you guys get to sit down and meet and listen and talk to my hero. It's kind of like meeting the man behind the man. So yeah, I will be moderating this. So this is actually going to be led by none other than the wonderful Joanne GC in the place to be. And we had to also add in another dynamic to it because this conversation is all about generation wealth and how, you know, the start of one person's journey ended up becoming, you know, the baton that was passed on to me, and then also another person who's had, I think it's 3 generations of, you know, generational family wealth. And here's the crazy part. I'm sitting in between 2 people who were both born in New Orleans, Louisiana. Interesting.
I'm leaving the copyright to this book to my wife, and it steps down to Mark and my youngest daughter. I said, Mark and my youngest daughter. It has to be Mark and my youngest daughter. I don't know what my youngest daughter will do. She's over 40 years old now, and I still can't figure out what she's going to do. But she's working, and she's not living in Seattle anymore, which is great. And she's working in Florida. Keep talking about coming back. Please don't come back. And I was investing in Boeing for a long time, and I got rid of that stock a few years back, which was a mistake. But nevertheless, that's what happened. But I still, like I say, I still have a few investments right now with E-Trade and stuff like that. Mark will have to set me up again with some stuff.
Don't worry, he'll get the stuff from last night's keynote.
And I'm curious about, given who you are and given the challenges, whether individual or collective, we as Black people, and especially as Black men, how did you instill and pass down the knowledge and values to the next generation? Like, what did that process look like?
So, real quick around that. So, listen to Mark's grandfather speak. My grandfather also grew up in New Orleans, and basically he was one of the first Black brakemen on a train in the history of trains, okay, in that area. And how he started, basically, he poured concrete, he painted houses, and he worked on the train. He had a 6th grade education. And he raised 6 children. Now, quickly on that, all 6 of his children, though, went to college. 3 were chemical engineers, worked for Exxon. The other 3 were educators. He started investing in 1952 in CDs and IRAs. He then, when he learned about that, while riding the train, you know, I've heard that story, is that he took my mom, who at the time was the oldest, and said, we're going to go and start these CD and IRA accounts. What does a 17-year-old know about that? Other than she was the smartest in the family, knew math, she could understand when people were talking compound interest, rates, things like that. Which my grandfather, of course, with the 6th grade education, was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know this is where the money is made. So he opened up CDs and IRAs for all 6 of his children. When I was born, and my mom and dad were married, they then instilled it in me. Quickly, I was 19 years old, had a co-op position in General Dynamics, came back. My dad was like, how much money he made? I brought home $37,000 through the summer. What are you gonna do? I'm at Southern University. I'm about to turn up for the football season. He said, you can turn up, but not on all $37,000. He took me down to, at the time, a Shearson Lehman, you know, place, which is no longer in business, and opened up a brokerage account. So I can say at 19, of course, I did not understand why this man was sitting up here telling me how to spend my money that I made during the summertime to make me do something. I got the next 30 or 40 years of my life to work. But he said, only if you want to work. I want to make sure that you don't have to go through the things I had to go through or that your grandfather went through because of the way the system was set up. Now, on that, open up the account. First stock I ever bought in my life, y'all heard it, Exxon. I grew up in Louisiana, what else did I know? Exxon. It was $12 a share. 6 months later, it was $22 a share. I was like, oh, this is how this works. I never looked back. Now, we all know some of the generations that we have today, my 2 sons are younger, they also questioned me. They started making money, they were working. I'm like, look, your mom and I opened up custodial accounts for you when you were like 5 and 9. But they're in a trust. You can't touch them unless I say you can touch them. Now, they don't have to work, and that's not a brag, guys. It's just that I've been saving for them for 20-something years. And I want them now to say, when I leave this earth, you can blow it if you want, but I gave you the blueprint. So that's basically, it was a brute force method at first from parents. Because literally, you're trying to tell somebody 19 in 1982 that I made $37,000. I'm ready to have fun, okay? But I can't. No, yes you can, just not on all the money. And I'm blessed to say it was the best decision of my life.
And she'll say, pray for me, and I'll take my leave. I think I'm somebody else. They say my friends are my clothes, and my baby's bad for my health. Don't wanna be by myself, no. Don't need